guys. This is Cassie Webb. I am with Keller Williams Realty, and I am here today with Mr. John. He is the CEO of ClimbCDC. And we're going to be just learning a little bit more. I was able to learn a little bit about what they do for the community and was just really blown away by every thing that they do, all the services that they provide. So, Mr. John, thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you for the invitation. We really appreciate you helping to promote what we do at ClimbCDC.
Yes, sir. So, can you just initially give us just kind of an overview of what your organization does for the community?
Be glad to. ClimbCDC was established in 2010 as a workforce training institute. Climb originally grew out of another group by the name of International Relief Development. And that particular group, IRD, came in after Katrina and began to rebuild houses and renovate homes along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. But Climb specializes in workforce training of those young people, ages 16 to 24. And with that, we have several different programs that operate under the umbrella of Climb. We have a conservation arm, we have a youth build arm, we have a WIOA arm. Those are all workforce training programs. But we also have what we call our rapid rehousing program. It's part of the continuum of care program that is implemented by the Department of Housing and Urban Development out of Washington. And we have what we call a drop-in center. The drop-in center is a place where young people, young adults, can just come and have a safe space throughout the course of the day. If they need to talk to counselors, use computers, recharge their phones, just get some refreshments, whatever it may be that they need, it's available to them at no cost.
Yeah, I thought that I had no idea, honestly, that you guys had that. And that's just such an amazing resource for the people that are in need. And you have a high school diploma program as well?
Correct. In addition to everything else, we also have a high school diploma program. We call it our graduate retention program. Not all of our young people can sit in a classroom 7 or 8 hours a day and receive instruction. So we give them an option to engage in a hybrid, virtual as well as in-person instruction with some very specific assistance provided. And with that in mind, we have been very successful in graduating young individuals, young adults who otherwise were not being successful in the school system. One young lady transferred from a local school district. She was being bullied. She was a straight A student in school, but because of the bullying, she just could not function within that environment. And she had dropped out of school. She transferred over to Climb, and within a matter of 2 months, she had obtained her high school diploma. And was just, it was an amazing sight to see at the graduation a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that is amazing. And so, and then from that point, once they have that high school diploma, can you help to match them in a potential career field that you offer?
We try our best to.
Okay.
And it's amazing how things have worked out because we have developed a tremendous partnership with English Shipbuilding. And so we're able, if they are 18 years of age or older, and they pass a drug screen, which we stress, we drug test them while they're here.
Right.
Okay. So by the time they get ready to transition, that's not an issue. But they are hiring our young graduates by simply applying. And it's great. A lot of these young people are starting out at $16 to $20 an hour.
Wow.
Working
That is
at a
amazing.
place like Ingalls. We had our culinary graduation. Within the workforce training field, we focus on culinary, construction, customer service, environmental stewardship, and medical assistance. We graduated 5 culinary students, and the very next week, we posted it on Facebook. We had calls coming from Oxford if they would like to travel, that they would pay their travel there, help them get assistance in housing, and hire them because people are in need. good, honest workers.
Mhm. Yeah, that's amazing. So it's kind of the community coming together and benefiting everyone. So that is
That's
awesome.
absolutely correct.
So what would be if someone's like, I'm a young person, or not necessarily a young person, depending on the situation, all different ages. If someone's just like, I feel like I'm kind of lost, need some direction, like what would be their first steps to seeing what programs may be available that would be potentially a fit for them?
The first step would simply be to either call or to come into our offices and speak with either myself, our Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Jake Cook, or one of our case managers or career development officers. And with that in mind, uh, you mentioned something because I focus on those 16 to 24, but we have actually opened our services to
Okay.
those who are above that age range, especially when it comes to our graduate retention program. When we first started promoting that program, we had a lot of individuals who were outside of that range, who
Mm-hmm.
wanted to get a high school diploma. So we have sought private funding. Hancock Bank has been a tremendous partner to help us. Molino Healthcare, not even a local group, they're out of Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
They have paid for some of the tuition for those who attend those programs who do not fall within the confines of our typical grants. And so when we allow people to come in outside of that age range, we have to find the funding for
Okay.
them. And it is proven to be a very successful program.
Yeah, that is amazing. So really just have a conversation, see what's a fit, what's not, and
That's
then
right.
you have some other services you could possibly refer them to if
Absolutely.
it's a service that maybe you wouldn't be a good fit for your program.
Absolutely. We know what our lane is and we stay in our lane, but we also work with other nonprofits. We work with other for profit businesses to help direct anyone who comes into our facility to the right area, whether it is mental health, physical health, dentistry work that maybe they need, if it is food assistance, clothing assistance, if it is beyond what we're capable of doing,
Mm-hmm.
then we will refer them to those other groups.
That is amazing. And I just wanted, you mentioned it earlier, but I wanted to go back to the housing program. And so you are in need sometimes of rental houses.
We need units.
Okay.
We need units. If you have rental properties available, we have money to pay you. The residents don't pay you. We will pay you on their behalf. With the grant allows us to pay for deposits to get into the houses, security deposits, whatever the case may be. And so we need units. We could house more individuals if we had more units available to us. One bedrooms, studio apartments,
Mhm.
anything of that nature would be of a tremendous help, not only to Climb, but there are a group of organizations, a group of nonprofits who all draw from the same grant pool, but yet all of us are having the same problem. We have more people in need than we have rental units available.
Right, right. And the housing shortage with everything going on in the nation has contributed to that problem, I'm sure.
That's correct.
So there, for our investor friends, definitely that's a need. Now, those who may not have rental houses and can't assist in that way, how are people able to build your organization here, whether it be donations, spreading the word, things like that? If you could just tell us how people can help you.
First and foremost, the best way that people can help us is by just mentioning Climb whenever the opportunity presents itself. If you know of a young person or even an older adult who may need some assistance in just gaining some direction, some guidance, uh, refer them to us. Secondly, we can always use donations. Climb is a 501c3 organization, and it is a full nonprofit. Uh, we operate off of grants from the Department of Labor, the Department of Justice, from HUD, local grants from private institutions as well as private foundations. But we need more donors. It is unfortunate that most of our donors come from outside of the area and not locally. But a lot of that has to do with the fact that people are just not aware
Mhm.
of the services we provide and the benefits that can be gained from Climb.
Yeah, I appreciate that very much. And I definitely wanted to visit here and talk with you because as I mentioned in the beginning, and I will happily be a donor as well because I just had no idea that yeah, of course. I had no idea. I mean, these are resources that, to be honest with you, I was like, man, I wish there was an organization that provided these resources. And then to find out you guys are right here in Gulfport and doing these amazing things for many people, but particularly for the young adults. And so it just is very touching to my heart. And I wanted to say thank you for that and all that you do. And is there anything that we didn't discuss that you would like to say?
Well, I would like for everyone to know that Climb is not just an organization that is located and service in the Gulfport area. We service the entire Mississippi Gulf Coast, the 6 southern counties.
Oh,
As a
wow.
matter of fact, this week we're opening an office in Picayune to begin
That's
providing services
amazing.
there. Uh, Hopefully, by the end of August, we'll have an office open in Biloxi. These are all partnerships. In Picayune, we have partnered with the Pearl River County Board of Supervisors there.
Yeah.
Here in Gulfport, we have partnered with the Gulfport School District. In Biloxi, we're going to be partnering with the Biloxi School District. And we have been actually even going to come into Jackson County, where we will partner with the Moss Point School District. So Climb, its mission is to help people realize self-sufficiency, how to be self-sufficient on their own. And what we hope to do is to just give people that boost. I just left a young man who prepared his first resume. He is going to be one of those who will be hired by Ingalls. Uh, Beautiful young man, very determined. He was one of our best construction students. He is here more so than my staff is here. And that's what makes this worthwhile. You know,
Absolutely.
we oftentimes we look too much at the challenges
Mhm.
of running the organization. Maybe those who don't succeed, but we have many more successes than we do failures. And to the extent we can draw in more of the local community to help us achieve this goal, we will be even more successful.
Very good. Well, thank you so much, Mr. John, for your time. I appreciate it. And we will be back in a moment with our next guest.
Thank you.
So we just spoke to Mr. John, the CEO of ClimbCDC here, and now we're with Miss Alexia here, and you are the educational instructor, correct?
I am.
That is awesome. So I'm super excited to talk to you because I've heard such amazing things about you, as well as the educational program here. So can we start with just maybe like an overview of the educational program that you have here?
Sure. Okay, so basically our youth build program, our educational program is consisted of 16 to 24-year-olds who have dropped out of high school, middle school, for whatever reason, doesn't matter. And basically we put them back into our program, get them back into school, get them through a 13 credit, which covers like their main courses plus the extracurriculars.
Mm-hmm.
And once they finish those 13 credits, they have their high school diploma. Like it's not a GED, it's their high school diploma.
An actual high school
And
diploma.
then they have
That
it-
is
right,
awesome.
it is
Put on the
great.
resume,
Put
right?
on the resume, right?
Yeah.
And it's like it's such an accomplishment, which they
Sure.
love, I love, and it's just like, I don't know, it's very heartwarming, honestly.
Yeah.
And really after that, and then we get them into a trade so that they have like a plan afterwards. Some of them want to go to college, some want to go into, construction, culinary, we offer all of that.
Yeah, that is amazing. So, and with that, my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you teach people, all the English, math, whatever.
Right.
But then in addition to, you have some life skills.
We do life skills, and I think something that I've tried to implement just with this year's kids is getting them more familiar with how to interact with people, especially like professionals, So
Right.
basically, like even here now, like I have some of my kids who are working on their resumes. And so, we have different departments here. So I'll have them go give their resume to maybe like Mr. Rob, who's in charge of conservation. And I'm like, okay, when you go see him, make sure you shake his hand, give him your resume, make sure it's clean, it's not wrinkled, bring a binder with you. And it just gives them confidence. It lets them know, like, this is what people expect from you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it like, I don't know, it makes them feel really good too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's so many skills that are new to our culture, like
Right.
social media.
And that's
Right.
a huge one. And I always try to like tell them that, like, okay, how you present yourself on social media is so important. Like, please do not be on social media like cussing or, just acting how you would not in front of your employer, basically.
Right. Don't put anything on there you don't want your potential employer to see.
Exactly. What you want your mom to see.
And then you have some mental health resources or
We
education.
do. So we also have I want to say Miss Ramona is a psychologist. I'm not sure if she's a psychiatrist. She might be a psychiatrist. And she's amazing. Amazing. I've actually seen her before because she just helps with like a plethora of topics, and so a lot of our students can go to her and talk to her about like their family issues, their life issues, social issues, just whatever. She's so understanding, and it also makes them familiar with like it's not a bad thing to ask for help, like we all do it.
Absolutely, yes. I think that's very, very important, and I was super excited to hear that is one of the resources
Yes.
that you guys offer. So is there anything that we didn't maybe talk about that you wanted to say?
Let's see. I would just really like, you just brought up mental health. I think that is just a very important thing that a lot of us tend to neglect in our daily life, especially with COVID, especially with everything that's going on now. A lot of us are in like a place that we don't really quite understand.
Sure.
And we're not quite sure how to deal with those emotions, if that makes sense.
Right.
And so, like, especially some of my kids that come in here and they're like, Miss Lexi, like, I'm not quite sure, like, what this means. And I'm like, well, honestly, like, maybe I can't tell you, but, like, a professional can, and we have one. So, like, let's go talk to her. Because, like, I don't have all the answers, and I know you don't have all the answers, but, like, we can figure it out together. And I feel like that's what, like, Climb is really about. Like, we're going to figure it out together.
That is amazing. Well, thank you so much, Alexia. It was so nice to meet you.
It was nice to meet you too.
Yeah, and you were as wonderful as I had heard you are, and your passion really comes through, and we appreciate you.
Thank you so much. It was so pleasant. Thank you.
Hey, this is Cassie again. We're back with our next guest with ClimbCDC. We spoke with Mr. John and Miss Alexia earlier, and now we are here with Mr. Rob. It's very nice to meet you, Rob.
Nice meeting you.
I've heard wonderful things about you.
Well, thank you.
So can you tell me your job title again?
So I'm the Chief Conservation Officer here at Climb. I run our conservation corps. We have multiple teams that go out and operate in the environment, and at the same time that we're teaching them to work in the environment and environmental trades, we're also working with them on professionalism. We're working with them on their resumes, on interviewing skills, so that when they leave us at the end of a program year, that they're ready to move on to a well-paying job and hopefully build their future.
Okay, perfect. So in that, how does that play out in a practical sense in the community? Like what do you guys do in that department?
Okay, so So our biggest thing that we do is invasive species removal. So everybody that's got popcorn trees in their yards and stuff, we go on to federal lands or privately trusted lands to remove invasive species of plants like those. We remove invasive species of snails, the giant apple snail from along the Pascagoula River and a few others. So we're trying to help better the environment by removing things that should not be there, and we'll then replant plants that are supposed to be there and use the environment the way it should be and help restore it to its natural state.
That's amazing. So you are essentially teaching our young people a trade.
Yes.
You're offering services that benefit our environment.
Yes.
And then you're kind of adding in those life skills as well.
Exactly.
Correct? Okay, yeah, that is awesome. Well, is there anything else that we didn't talk about that you wanted to go over or tell us about your program?
The only other thing I'd like to say is that the program is for 18 to 24-year-olds.
Okay.
We are restricted by that because of a couple of our grants that try to target that age group. So if you know anybody, we're going to be hiring within the next couple of months for about 20 crew members, and we'd love to get recommendations of people to send in their resumes to us.
That is amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that wraps up our conversation with our team members here at ClimbCDC, and we will be back with you in a moment. So, to conclude this experience today, my friend Amy Brand came here with me and helped me a lot with this interview. And we were just kind of talking during the break. And Amy, what are you thinking?
Cassie, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for the invitation. What we've experienced today is unbelievable. And as you know, I have a son. And so this has really touched me. You know my story. We have had a lot of doors closed over and over and over. And we are still hoping and praying to find a place. And I think because of you today, we now have the ability to meet with John and the team and to be able to see if this is something that could really help our son. So I just want to say thank you. Like, I just can't tell you enough. I am just absolutely, like you said, blown away. We had no idea that this was even here or, in our community, just right here. And you've heard me say over and over, I wish we had this, this, and this. And you said, Cassie, I wish we had this, this, and this. And here we are today. And it's like answered prayers. So thank you.
Yeah. And when we have been kind of behind the scenes today, everyone we have met has been so authentic and like, we want to help, we will help you. And if for some reason it was not the right fit for the services we provide, we will find a way to help you still. And it's just been so encouraging just to meet people who are not just like talking the talk and we're doing for the community and that, and not the nonprofit and all that, but I mean really just genuine, sincere,
the authenticity,
want to help. Yes. Authenticity.
Well, and one of the things, Cassie, as you were talking about that, I could say each and every person is like passionate. Like It is inside of them. Like this is their calling, their passion, their purpose, right?
Yes.
Of what difference they can make. And John shared with us a lot. We speak from experience. And sometimes when you travel that road and you have that experience, then, that gives you the ability to be able to help even more. And I think that's exactly what Climb has shared with us today.
Yes,
So I'm
absolutely.
super excited.
And I wanted to thank you too so much for joining me and also just being behind the scenes and helping with all the technical. And I appreciate your support as well. And just really looking forward to spreading the word about all the resources that our community has, that if you're anything like us, you didn't know until today. We have right here in Gulfport, but with offices all along the Gulf Coast and serving the 6 coastal counties. So really excited about being able to spread the word. And if you guys could, like, comment, share, all that, so that we can make sure to get the word out about all this for our community, as well as to help ClimbCDC, who's doing so much.
Awesome. And
Yeah.
Cassie, you have to make me a promise.
Yes.
This is the first of many, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we will be back.
Do it.